paying for these women?
No.
Yes.
Not at all.
Where are they from again?
It's fucking see-through. It's like skin. It's like, it's just like, it's there.
Where?
Bro, come on. I told you. I got a good ass fucking heart, bro. I don't deserve this shit. I love you. I do everything for you. I did everything for you, Amelia. I gave you thousands of dollars. You gotta cancel your trip. Why would you have to cancel your trip? That door will...
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about what the hell is going on here. I don't understand. You got people kissing rats' rings. It's insane. We're going to get into why Michael Franzese is a rat. Catalano TV, what's going on, man? How you doing? Nikki the Barber, Salvatore. William, what's good? Mustang Mike, Jeffrey, Raekwon, Otto, William Tolley, what's good? James, how are you? We've got a lot of people in the house. Antonio, how is everyone this morning? So we got some things to go over. It's getting crazy out there. Like, do you see this shit? Joey Pope, how are you? So I have the paperwork of Michael cooperating. He always says, I didn't cooperate. I'm not a rat, right? But he did. He put his hand up under oath in front of the government. That means you're a rat. Like there is no ways around it. I don't understand. He's like, I never put no one in jail, but he did. And then he said, I got some proof that he said, I'm not cooperating against wise guys, but he cooperated against other people. He was on the stand. I believe this is Michael Franzese, right? Or are my eyes deceiving me? It's insane that they try to downplay their credibility in cooperating. And it's crazy. I don't get it. Let's take a look at the beginning of this video. It's pretty nuts.
Him when the shots rang out at this big rally we had in New York. You can't defy an order.
And if once you're made you defy an order, then that would result in death.
Absolutely. And he said to me, son, I got to ask you something that's very serious. If you ever had to kill anybody, could you do it?
I'm going to kiss your ring, Michael. Respect your family. Informing government. And there was a guy that I met, who you'll know, John Elite. Did I say it wrong? Is that John Elite?
Elite.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. I'll call him John Elite, but
No,
it's John
no,
Elite.
okay. That's okay.
But I met him because he was here.
Because they're best friends now, right? John Elite and John A. Liar. It's crazy. Now they're friends. Just doesn't make sense. Good thing we got Michael Franzese's testimony today.
And he was obviously looking to do a film or a TV series about his life. And he said, you know, I went into the life and I was doing hits and, you know, obviously for the Gambinos. And he said, I was, you know, I didn't ever question. I just did it, right? And he said, then when I got pinched, he said, I literally went out the country on my toes, and I went on the run. I went to Brazil. I went all around the world trying to evade this massive prison sentence I was going to.
And he came back on his knees. He went to Brazil on his toes and came back on his knees.
Yeah. And then when I did get caught and they took me in, he said it was literally like, you know, you're going to get nicked for this, you're going to get nicked for that. And he was sort of like, how the fuck did they know all of this stuff, right? And he said that they actually said to me, the boss of this family, the underboss of this family, the captain, and literally had statements. They showed him statements that these people had made. And
watch what he says.
He was literally like, I can't believe all these people that I respected and looked up to were ratting me out. So then he said, I was like, I ain't going to prison for 100 years. So if they're going to rat me out, I'm going to rat them out. So if they're going to rat me out, I'm going to rat them out.
Typical shit, right? Typical behavior. You rat me out, I rat you out. That's what they say. To all the protection wing of YouTube. Gimp Smoke, Ripper Mary, Piggy again on the same rubbish lies they've had for 2 years. Common Simps also balls deep in the lies and slander. So I don't deal with those people. I have no clue who they even are. Who is that? I don't know who any of those people are. Nor do I care. We're getting down to the, Sammy calls it chess. We call it ratting. This is the bottom line. He's the biggest cooperator in Mafia history. And I hear that OC Shorts is upset with me. He put a comment saying that he was disappointed. He was surprised that I involved him. Well, I'm surprised you involved Sammy Gravano and you let him lie to your face and you didn't question him at all. You just let him tell his bullshit story. He didn't question any of it. It's kind of odd, right? But we're going to hear Michael say how he didn't cooperate, and I'm going to prove to you that he did.
When I heard him say that, I just thought, if you have that view where you never speak, but then someone says to you, but you're never going to come out of jail ever again, and you know you're never going to see your family other than the side of a window or on a phone, you know, but I think that made him realise, or made him think, well, if they're doing it, they broke the rules, I'm going to break the rules. But I don't know what the reason. Do you think it was that simple that the law enforcement used the fact that they was going to put them in jail for a long time to actually say, guys, you can get out, you've got to tell us this. They've already told us this. There's all the statements. There's all the proof.
Well, that's what Michael Franzese did. He said that they put his name in the paper, right? And Carmine Persico and all them were threatening him. Well, I know that he paid Carmine Persico not to kill him. He didn't go into witness protection, but he said that he was cooperating against non-wise guys. Here's some proof. On September 1st, 1989, sources advised that Carmine Persico put a contract on Michael Franzese as soon as he learned that Franzese had testified for the government. The sources said that Persico will go to any lengths to kill Franzese and has taken away all money-earning activities from Sonny Franzese as retaliatory move. And sources said Sonny Franzese has not taken this lightly, and he has refused to give up any legal activities which bring money into him, even though he is incarcerated. The source said Sonny Franzese has a small faction on Long Island that's still loyal to him and oversees these activities. The source also noted that Michael Franzese is supposed to, I can't see the bottom of that, but so here, he's identified by interviewing agents. Franzese was advised that he was being entered into the U.S. government attorney's office in the Northern District of Illinois. That's what he did. He thinks he's slick, But what he did is he was in prison down in Florida. They had him cooperate with the government up in Chicago. And here is his paperwork. And in one of the papers, it says that he was only going to cooperate against non-wise guys. So all these lies about he didn't cooperate, it's all bullshit. He cooperated 100%.
So they sort of encouraged these people to sort of break the oath.
I'm going to tell you what really happened. Did you ever see the movie The Bronx Tale?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Chaz is a good friend of mine. His stories about him. He wrote the script. And in that, during the movie, you remember when Sonny, played by Chaz, is asked by Cologgio, the young guy, is it better to be loved or to be feared? And Sonny turns and said, it's better to be feared in my position. And I keep the guys in line and blah, blah, blah.
Yes, Steve. Eli was running 5 miles at 5 years old, 10 miles at 10 years old. He was. See? This is him warming up for his workout routine.
And when I spoke to Chaz, I said, Chaz, that's wrong. It's better to be loved. I said, fear kept people in check, no question about it. But what happened in our life, when the RICO statute came out, and I had 2 RICO indictments, federal, it was so severe.
And he tries to say that he walked away from the life, which is not true. He didn't walk away from the life. He got chased. He testified. He turned into an informant.
The penalties were so severe and the statute was so difficult to defend, it was so loosely written, that it was so easy to be indicted by a racketeering act, that here's what happened. Under the RICO Act, you go down on 1 count, you get 20 years, no parole. And me and Sammy the Bull, they said...
So now he's saying, in this little clip, I cut out a bunch, and he says that him and Sammy the Bull should be the president of the United States. 2 of the biggest rats out there. One of the biggest rat out there, and then his little underboss, Michael Franzese, the second runner-up.
Sammy should be president and vice president. I tell you what, we straighten out the country fast because we don't give a darn what anybody said.
Right.
I got 4 years here. Don't bother me. I'm going to straighten things out because I...
Hey, full green light. How are you? Thomas, thanks for joining me this morning. Cody, how are you?
care about the people.
Have you had that conversation with Sammy then?
Oh, yeah.
So is he going to be the president or are you going to be the president?
It doesn't matter.
Right, I didn't know if you sort of already agreed.
Well, he said, I'm pulling rank on you because I said, you're not the underboss anymore. We start off equal.
I've never met, obviously, I remember the stories.
Listen, if he wasn't a cooperator, he wouldn't have contact with Sammy Gravano and all these other rats. That's like painfully obvious. If he was a stand-up legit guy, he wouldn't even have contact with any of these people. He's trying to pull the wool over people's eyes.
And I watched that.
He's a born-again liar.
Film with John Travolta in about Gotti, and obviously there was recently.
Oh, that was terrible. Don't watch that. If you want to see the best Gotti movie, you probably saw it. I don't know if you did. 1996 HBO Gotti with Armand DeSante and Anthony Quinn.
Yeah, no,
brilliant. You saw that. Brilliant movie. They were the two of them. Just terrific.
It's kind of crazy.
Thank you, Anthony.
For whatever reason, John Gotti. I know he was obviously. I know they called him a Teflon Don, and he was. But you know, I remember Wolf. He actually, because I was talking to him and I said, "Oh, what was John like?" You know, and this was when John actually went to prison. He actually said he was a fucking lunatic. He said he was hot-headed and he would, you know, drop of a hat, he'd just do things, and then, you know, and obviously, it's crazy that he just decided to take out Castellano. I mean, it's just mad. I'm just gonna kill him. Well,
and I got clips of the Joey Merlino and Vlad podcast. I'm gonna play a couple of those too.
Well, it was either him or Castellano. I mean,
look at that. Michael Franzese has advised identified interviewed agents. He's advised that he's being entered into the U.S. with the attorney's office in Northern District of Illinois. I can't read some of that. It's like blurry. But you guys get the gist, right? You guys can see that. Franzese stated that He has never himself personally participated in a murder, and that's a lie as well. He definitely had knowledge of people getting killed. I believe one of his father's drivers got killed, and he knew about it. Someone that gave drugs to his sister, I believe, he knew about that person too.
So it wasn't. He didn't literally plan it. He knew he was going to go, so he just.
Well, the word was that he was in trouble. Him and his crew. I don't know if John was dealing with drugs, honestly, but his crew was. There's no.
Come on, they were all dealing with drugs. Junior was dealing with drugs. Senior, they were all dealing with drugs, and they tried to deny the drug thing. 100% they were involved with drugs.
No question. And Castellano was upset, and it was going to happen. Gotti was going to go. So he acted first. I mean, you can't blame him.
Rasco, what's up? Emerald, how are you?
It wasn't,
Tommy,
when you kill
good?
a boss, you better have some people supporting you for it, like, from the other families, So it wasn't looked upon well. I know the Chin Gigante was very upset about it. Even Persico at the time didn't like it. But he had to do what he had to do.
Because that's another great character, the Chin,
Yeah.
And for anybody who doesn't know who the Chin is, he was obviously the head of the
Genovese family,
and he used to walk around in a dressing gown.
Bathrobe, unshaven, hair's a mess.
All right, we'll get back to that. Let's play some of this Joey Merlino at DJ Vlad and watch how he shuts him down when he asks him about the Mafia.
Merlino, a.k.a. Skinny Joey, who the media has claimed for years is the boss of the Philadelphia Mafia. Welcome to Vlad TV.
Hi.
Everyone, so people are talking, saying that New York is furious and they're having all these meetings. That's what Scott Bernstein keeps reporting, that he has inside information that these people are having these high-ranking meetings, and people from prison are having meetings about Joey being on social media. I don't know who believes what, but obviously there are some people in New York that are upset that Joey Merlino is on the internet. I don't think Joey really gives a shit. Honestly, I mean, if he really walked away from that life, which I believe he did, then what's the problem?
How you doing? Welcome. How are you?
Well, it's your first time here.
Alleged.
I want to start at the very beginning.
Good.
So,
Alleged. Let's watch that again.
for years is the boss of the Philadelphia Mafia. Welcome to Vlad TV.
How you doing? Welcome. How are you?
Well, it's your first time here.
Alleged.
I want to start at the very beginning.
Good.
So, born and raised in South Philly.
Yes, my whole life.
Okay. And your parents are Italian, Salvatore Chucky Merlino and Rita Giordano?
Yeah, Jordan, that's my mother, yeah.
Okay. So what was it like to grow up in South Philly in the late 60s, early 70s?
It was nice. There was no locks on the door. You could do whatever you want in the neighborhood. Nobody ever stole anything. Nobody's houses got robbed. Tight-knit, all time. Everybody helped each other. Outside all night. Listen, when I was a kid, I was never home. I went home to eat. That was it. The kids are all fucked up today. That's why they're all fat. They play video games. They don't do a fucking thing. We played every sport. Hockey, football, baseball, stickball, you name it, we played it. My mother came and got us. We came home from school at 3 o'clock. We were out till 5 o'clock. Came in 8. As soon as we're done dinner, went out till 8 o'clock.
Yeah, he's got a high-ranking member, keeps contacting him, saying that they're having meetings about Joey, right? Come on. If there was someone who was involved with any of those meetings talking to Scott Bernstein, they would know exactly who it was. Like, they would be outed for even sharing this information. So I don't know who his source is, but they definitely were stirring up some things not too long ago. People were not happy that he was even coming on the internet. And rightfully so, right? If he was or is the alleged boss, but this is all allegedly. Who knows? He could be just sucked into that life because of who his family was or is.
9 o'clock, home, bath, shower. We didn't have shower, we had fucking bath. We had no air conditioning. Got up, went to school the next day, but we were always active.
Okay, so you're growing up, and in terms of your dad,
Definitely is, Mike. And the Marats hate it. They can't stand that Joey Merlino's out here on the internet now.
Did he tell you what he did for a living, or what did you think he did for a living when you were a kid?
He worked in a mechanic place, Armstrong Springs.
Okay.
And he was a bartender. He was a bartender.
Okay. Well, he owned a bar at one point, right?
Yeah, he had a bar.
Was it the 9M?
Well, yeah, 9M bar. That was in the late 80s, though. I'm talking about like 70s, early 80s, 70s, early 80s.
Okay, so as a kid, did you get in trouble, or were you a relatively good kid?
Every day, trouble. Every fucking day. My mother beat me up every day. My father, like 4 times a year. Every day my mother beat me up.
So, like...
See, Vlad doesn't ask him the right questions. I don't believe Vlad asked him the right questions, because he basically just asked him the same stuff that he's been talking about all this time on YouTube. I know exactly what I'd be asking Joey.
What was the first time you really got in serious trouble?
Since I was let out of the house. Every day. I mean, we always something. We were bad.
Okay.
We were bad kids, but good bad. Not.
He doesn't walk you through any situations, nothing. He doesn't. You don't know how old he is, what he's talking about, and what's part of his story. None of it. Big boy Blue, what's going on?
Like, no drugs, no. We just whatever. Broke windows, fucking threw eggs. We used to throw eggs at cops. Mischief night. That's what everybody in South Philly did.
That's what everyone everywhere did. Who in the chat hasn't gone out and thrown eggs at cars and shit during the night before Halloween? I believe probably everyone in this chat did the same thing. I don't think Vlad is a good interviewer. He just asks Wikipedia questions that everyone can find 100%. Like, to get all this information that he's asking them, all you got to do is watch Joey's show. He says the same exact stories of what he's been talking about on his show. Nothing new.
Okay. Were you getting arrested as a kid at all?
Like, I want to know, did he go to, when the Chicken Man got blown up, did he go to his funeral? Did he, what happened? How did he find out Testa was killed? All kinds of questions.
I got a few times. Minor shit, throwing eggs at cops. But the cops used to laugh at us. They used to take us and drive us like 2 miles away and let us walk home.
Okay, so nothing serious. You didn't get any serious crimes.
No, not serious. Driving without a license when we were 15, you had to be 16 to drive. Shit like that.
Okay, so did you...
Yeah, I don't know who that is, Ian. Yeah, I'm sure they're mad. You're going to stay mad, too.
Know about the Mafia as a kid?
No.
Not at all. Okay.
Did you hear that question?
Not at all. Okay, so did you know about the Mafia as a kid?
No.
When did you know about it? Follow-up question, man.
Not at all. Okay, well...
When did you know what the Mafia was?
Let's talk about the backdrop of what's happening right now. At that time. So by 1980, when you were 18...
He says, did you know what the Mafia was? Joey's like, no, I didn't know. What's it again?
Okay, so did you know about the Mafia as a kid?
No.
No, he was in the middle of it. What do you mean? Of course he didn't know. People were saying that Vlad was intimidated real bad on this interview. He said, I didn't know what the Mafia was. When did you know what the Mafia was?
Okay, so did you know about the Mafia as a kid?
No.
Not at all. Okay, well, let's talk about the backdrop of what's happening right now. at that time. So by 1980, when you were 18, the Philly boss, Angelo Bruno, got killed.
He lived around the corner from me.
And, I'm sorry?
He lived around the corner from me.
He should have said, what was your relationship with Angelo Bruno? He lived around the corner, but what was your relationship with him back then? I want to know all that shit. This guy just breezes over all them questions. He doesn't ask him anything.
Okay. And that set off a whole bunch of events. So they're saying that the murder was orchestrated by his consigliere, Antonio Copangiro. And then because he didn't get permission from the commission to actually do it, he was found dead in the trunk of a car.
I don't know nothing about it. I was a kid. I have no clue. All I know is he got killed. That was it.
But he should have asked him, what was your relationship with him? He didn't ask him none of that. Like, I don't understand. He doesn't ask him nothing. Like, he said, I don't know none of that. I was just a kid. But what was his relationship with him?
Right. Then Phil Testa became the new boss, and he appointed Nicky Scarfo as his consigliere.
I don't know nothing about that.
See, he ain't talking. He's shutting them down because Vlad's trying to trip him up with these mafia questions.
That's way before my time.
I'm just kind of setting off the backdrop of what's happening. Not to say, you didn't know anything about that. I'm just kind of setting up what's happening in the background.
You could tell he's getting a little pissed.
Then, Phil Testa became the new boss, and then he got killed by a nail bomb under his porch. And they're saying that was ordered by Peter Casella.
See, I want to know about Testa. What was his relationship with Testa before he got killed? He doesn't ask him anything. He's going through what happened on the streets, but he should have asked him, like, what was your relationship with Testa, the chicken man? How did you meet his son? When did you guys start hanging out? What was you guys' relationship? He doesn't ask him none of that.
And Frank Narducci Sr., and then Narducci gets killed, and Casella had to leave, and there was the whole internal war in terms of what's happening. And at the end of all that, Nicky Scarfo became the boss of the Philly family.
And then he says Nicky's a good man and all that, but he doesn't ask him anything. He doesn't ask him like, what was your relationship like with Nicky? None of it.
Did you know Nicky at all?
Yeah, I knew Nick. Yeah.
Okay, so what was Nicky Scarfo like?
He was a good man. He was a man. He was a good guy.
Okay.
What
were some of the moments that stood out in terms of your interactions
with Nicky?
Yeah.
He was always dependable, always on time. If you had to be there at 5 o'clock, you better be there at 5 o'clock. I mean, he was a good man. He was a good guy. Nicky was a good man. I mean, look, he went to jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah, the lad butchers names. He butchers names. John Elite. He butchers everyone's name.
Yeah, I mean, he was a good guy. His
well,
nephew.
They say after Nicky became the boss, they promoted your dad to the underboss.
I don't know nothing about that.
See, he's shutting him down. I don't know nothing about none of that.
I'm not going to talk about. I don't want to talk about none of that.
See, he don't want to talk about the mob stuff.
You don't know anything.
I don't want to talk about none of the mob stuff. I want to talk about the rats.
Okay, fair enough. So, 82, Nicky Scarfo goes to jail for gun possession for 2 years.
Right.
And then in 84, you got into a situation with aggravated assault.
Yeah, I got locked up.
Okay, so tell me exactly what happened.
We was in a bar. I was in a bar, Lido. It was like a restaurant. It wasn't no nightclub. It was like a restaurant. Older crowd. They had a band in there. And Philinetti's mother came in there. He left this out of his book. And she was in there drunk. And these 3 guys kept on bothering her, asking her to dance. They were dancing with her. I went over. I brought her back to the bar. And they wouldn't stop. I'm little. I just got done being a jockey. I was fucking 120 pounds. They were big. And a fucking fight broke out. I hit one with a chair. They hit me. Bing, bang, boom. But I didn't get locked up for like a year later.
Tonto rides Joey's horses for him. He like butchers people with his teeth.
One of them somebody got stabbed. A riot broke out. Somebody got stabbed. They locked me up a year later. They charged me with 2 counts, aggravated assault and possession of 3 charges. 2 aggravated assault. I went and got sentenced. The fucking lawyer told me I was getting probation. I got 21 years. But they ran a concurrent. I didn't know what the fucking concurrent meant.
Right, yeah. 2 counts of aggravated assault, 1 count of possession of a weapon for unlawful purpose.
They got me 7 years each one.
He said, listen, so on this, he just said that someone got stabbed, right? But he didn't say he did it. So why did he get charged with possession of a weapon? What's that all about? Like, what's that all about? Did he get caught with a knife? Like, Vlad doesn't get into none of the shit. He just, like, breezes right through the story. He doesn't ask him nothing. No, like, follow-up questions to get more details. None of that shit. He's just like, yeah, I was charged with possession of a weapon. But he just said someone got stabbed in the bar. Did you stab the guy? I guess he didn't get charged with assault, right? Or did he?
And then they ran him concurrent, but I didn't know what concurrent meant. Fuck, I know. I went to 9th grade. And then I did 2 years in jail, and I got out.
Well, you were also banned from the New Jersey casinos?
Yeah, youngest guy in the country barred. They still won't let me in.
And that was because of that fight?
No, I think I might have got barred before that. I'm not, like, right around that time I got barred. We all got barred. Me, my father, Nicky, Salvi, Philip, my uncle, other piece of shit.
See, he's saying they all got barred, but how? Like, what was the process of getting barred? Did they call you to court? Like, what happened? Vlad doesn't ask him none of that shit. And then at the end, right? At the end of the interview, Vlad's just like, all right, thanks, man. He could have kept going. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I just think it was a lame interview.
Yeah, like all of us, we all got barred.
So you can't walk into a casino at all in Jersey?
If I'm taking a heart attack right now on the boardwalk, I can't go in and get fucking medical attention. They won't let me in.
Yeah, Mafia Prince, that was a good book, but a lot of people are saying some of it's lies. Yeah, it was a great book.
Okay, and like you mentioned, your dad got banned as well as your other family members.
Yeah, we all got, I think it was.
Shout out to the Pink Panther. Wait till you see that interview. I think we're gonna be shaking shaking up the genre a little bit with that interview.
All the same time.
Yeah, he's like Mr. Mackey. Okay. Oh shit.
Okay. Now, your sister was at one point engaged to Salvatore Testa.
Yes.
Look, watch how fast he breezes through this little interaction, right? About Salvi Testa being engaged to his sister. Watch how fast it just breezes right through. He doesn't ask him anything.
He ends up getting killed.
Yeah, I was in jail. I went away when he got. Yeah, I was away when he got killed.
How did your sister take that?
I mean, she could, she couldn't have took it well. I mean,
hey, Maureen, how are you?
Well, they were broken up though. Nobody knows that. They were broken up before.
Everybody knows that. He broke off the wedding. And allegedly, so what they say out there is that he got killed because he broke off the wedding. That Chucky Merlino wanted him dead because he broke off the wedding. Other people say that Nicky Scarfo had him killed because he thought he was going to take over the family, that he was gaining a lot of power. There was a newspaper article saying the Prince of Philadelphia is going to take the reins and all this shit. And some people speculated that Scarfo was upset that he was getting a lot of recognition and he killed him.
The engagement was off.
Okay.
Everyone knows that. Profits for Life, what's good? How are you? Mustang Mike James, what's good? Salvatore. Man, we got a lot of people in the house. Hit that like button. Make sure you put the notification on all.
Well, and then in 1988, your dad got sentenced to 45 years.
See, he's just breezing right through it. All of a sudden, now your dad gets life sentence. Like whatever happened to everything else that happened?
For 2 counts of racketeering and drug trafficking.
Yeah. No, I think they beat the drugs.
Oh, they beat the drug trafficking charge.
They had a RICO case before that. Yeah, drug case. They got acquitted. All of them. And then they had that RICO case they won. And then they had, after that was the Testa murder. They beat that. And then they came with a racketeering case with everything in it. And they got convicted. That's when they got the 45 years.
See, his dad got tried for the Testa murder. That's insane. Insane. Allegedly, they say that Grande did it. The older Grande. You know that if there are people in Philadelphia that are still in the alleged mafia, whatever that is today, or whatever that looks like today, it would obviously cause problems with New York, right? But Joey's going legit. People say that you can't walk away from that life. Well, look what Franzese did. Franzese walked away, but he testified. Like, he tries to go around saying that he didn't, but he did. It's right here. Like, come on. Does it get any more clearer than that? Or this? Or this? Come on. It's not that hard to see that he cooperated. And people went to prison because of Michael Franzese. Don't let him fool you.
Okay, and you were 26 years old when that happened.
Yeah. Around there, yeah, 26, yeah.
I mean, how does it feel to be that young and your dad is almost getting a life sentence for that many years, essentially? Because your dad is what, maybe in his 50s at this point?
Well, they had 45 years, and he got life with no parole for another murder.
Vlad was hoping
So
Joey would say more than he did as soon as he told him, I don't want to talk about the mob. Vlad was pissed. He just shut him down. And in the beginning, he's like, you promised me you're not gonna interview no rats anymore. And he's like, I can't do that.
Well, no, Pennsylvania, you get life, you never get out. And then he had the 45 years with the feds running wild. But then they won the appeal on the murder case. I think it was, fuck year was it, 90-something. They went back to trial and they got acquitted.
He should have asked him, when's the last time you spent time with your father? When's the last time, like before he went to prison? When's the last time you seen Nicky Scarfo? All that shit. When's the last time you seen Testa?
And that's
Salvi?
how they just had to.
Nothing. He doesn't ask him anything intriguing. Nothing.
The Fed sentence.
Okay, so ultimately, how many years did your dad have to serve?
What did he do?
He did life. He was supposed to get out in 2016, and he passed away right before, a couple of years before.
He would have came home in 2016. I think he had 26 in, 20, 25, 26. Straight.
Okay. And then what happened?
He died in jail.
What do you mean, what happened, Vlad? Then what happened? Vlad said, well, what happened? What do you mean, what happened? He got a life sentence. He died in prison. What happened? This guy, man, he doesn't ask shit.
The Fed sentence.
Okay, so ultimately, how many years did your dad have to serve?
What happened? What do you mean, what happened? Did he ask Joey about the Scarfo Jr. hit? Nope. Didn't ask him about that. Not at all.
What did he do? He would have came home in 2016. I think he had 26 in, 20, 25, 26.
He should have asked him
Straight.
what his relationship with Scarfo Jr. was. What was your relationship with Scarfo Jr.? It's simple questions. How old were you during this time? Like, I don't believe Vlad's a great interviewer. I don't. I think he's mediocre at best.
And then what happened?
He's done a lot of interviews with a lot of influential people, but I just don't believe he's a great interviewer. I don't.
He died in jail.
Oh wow. So
yeah, he died. He only had like 18 months left.
how did
What happened next? What do you mean what happened next? He died in prison. He had a life sentence. Well, what happened next?
He died in jail.
Oh wow. So
yeah, he died. He only had like 18 months left.
how did your dad take it?
Like a man, like he's supposed to.
Same way all these other people are supposed to take it, but then they come out and lie, like Franzese. I didn't cooperate. Here you are right here cooperating with the government. What do you mean you're not a rat? Rat? It's crazy. These people are nuts. And then there's always a reason, right? There's always a reason for them to cooperate. What's going on? Castellano, how are you? Thomas, Car Time Automotive, Daniel, thanks for joining me this morning. I appreciate you. Joey wants to badmouth the rats. He's going to pull any punches. Can't wait for Vlad to ask him about Donkey Dom. He doesn't even talk that much about it. He was kind of disrespectful to Joey, wasn't he? It's crazy. He's trying to jam him up with them questions and even talking about all this other shit.
So you're supposed to.
I mean, I'm sure at that time.
You hear him? He was stuttering. Did you hear Vlad stuttering? Watch this. Listen.
25, 26. Straight.
Okay. And then what happened?
He died in jail.
Oh wow. So
yeah, he died. He only had like 18 months left.
how did your dad take it?
Like a man, like he's supposed to. So you're supposed to.
I mean, I'm sure at that time he was given lots of opportunities to cooperate and make that whole jail sentence go away.
And any one of them could have did it. It's that easy. Anybody could do it. You don't even have to know somebody. You seen the podcast I had with the kid the other day. He didn't even know me. They told him we'll let you go.
Yeah, because when they want someone so bad, they'll go through any lengths to get them. They don't care. They'll lie, manipulate. They'll have these people lie. Look at Donkey Dom and his new partner, Joe Barone. They didn't cooperate against each other, and they knew they were doing criminal activity around each other, and they spared each other. I believe that's a breach in their contracts.
That's how easy it is. But my father would never even think of that.
Did you visit him regularly in prison?
Yeah. Well, they stopped me when I got locked up. They wouldn't let me visit him no more. When I got out, they wouldn't let me visit him.
Yeah, he probably paid a lot, an arm and a leg for this interview. I don't know about 50 G's. That's kind of excessive, but when we have Joey duck all the questions. And then Vlad cuts off the interview at the end. He's just like, all right, thanks, man. What? He should have kept asking him questions.
The warden stopped me. I couldn't come on a visit. I had to get special permission. He was dying. Let me see, when was it? I got out 90. When did I get out? 2000.
See, he doesn't ask him, how old were you? Where'd you go when you got out? He doesn't ask him anything. Nothing intricate. Like, he doesn't get into this story about his life. He's just asking general things. And then he's bringing up all this mob shit that he doesn't want to talk about. It's not about talking about mob shit. It's about painting a picture that that people want to hear. People want to know the backdrop behind everything. They don't want to know just basic information.
14, 12, I forgot. When the fuck did I get out? 14? And he was in bad shape. And I wasn't allowed to go visit him. And then they gave me special permission. I went with my mother. We went to go see him. He was in a hospital in Texas. They had fucking 30 guards in a room, handcuffed to if they told him you get up and walk out, he couldn't get up and walk out. And then he died like 2 days later. But at least I got to see him before he died.
Sorry for your loss, man. I lost my dad a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, how do you make a living? Vlad didn't ask him that.
He's crazy.
Talking to himself.
He was crazy as a fox. But, you know, people have asked me, Michael, do you think he was really crazy? I said, listen, you got to be a little crazy to play crazy for 30 years and get away with it. He got away with it, right? For 30 years. Yeah. You know, but...
if he'd have been an actor, he'd have been an Oscar winner.
Oh, yeah. But he was sharp. I mean, and he was a real power in New York. Chin was, yeah, no question. So am I going to marry her and leave her alone?
No, he's going to cooperate with the government so he doesn't have to go to prison. That's what he's going to do. That's exactly what he did. Here's him on the stand with the government. What is this? Like, if you didn't cooperate, Franzese, then what is this? Is this you waving at your family goodbye before you went to prison? I don't believe so. I believe this is you going under oath to talk to the government about things you were involved in. You know what that makes you, Michael Franzese? It's not that hard to decipher this shit. I mean, I don't think you need to be a rocket scientist to do it.
Baby or two, and then I'm going to lose her. I said, I can't do that. So I have to make a decision how to walk away from the life. Not
how to walk away from the life. How you walked away from life is you cooperated. And your father was furious at you. And then he accepted you back.
Easy, but I had a whole, again, I'm always making plans to try to do something. But I took a plea really as a
government witness. That's what you did. You took a plea as a government witness. And then the government was putting in the paper that he was going to testify at all these trials. He denied testifying at a couple trials, and they put him back in prison for a little while. But he definitely gave information. His 302s are right here. He's a liar. Michael Franzese is a fraud.
What are we going to say? Preliminary to walk away from that life. It was part of my strategy. And,
hey, North End Stories,
I thought I was going to do it quietly. It didn't work out that way because the media went crazy with me, quitting the Mafia, blah, blah, blah. And then guys on the street thought I was going to testify. And
he hides behind church, Carmilla says. A lot of people are saying that Franzese is the worst. A lot of people are saying that. It's really, I think it's very disrespectful to hide behind your faith. Big Gus, how are you? Thanks for joining me.
Father practically, you know, he didn't want to talk to me. He was afraid. He didn't know what I was going to do. My boss contract on my life because now not only did I stop the gas business money, but
the boss put a contract on his life. And do you know what information I know about that situation? He paid Carmine Persico not to kill him. He gave Carmine Persico millions of dollars not to kill him because he knew that Michael Franzese was a rat. Did you know that Carmine Persico knew that Scarpa was ratting? He knew about that too. That's the reason why you didn't get killed, Michael.
This guy's walking away. Is he going to cooperate? You know, everybody didn't know what I was going to, and I was never going to do that. Wow. I was never going to testify against my former.
He was never going to testify against his former associates.
Never in a million years would hurt my dad. But the feds came to me when I'm in prison after I took the plea. I got a 10-year sentence.
Did you hear that? But. There's that but.
He didn't know what I was going to do. My boss contract on my life because now not only did I stop the gas business money, but this guy's walking away. Is he going to cooperate? You know, everybody didn't know what I was going to, and I was never going to do that. Wow. I was never going to testify against my former associates. Never in a million years would hurt my dad. But the feds came to me when I'm in prison after I took the plea. I got a 10-year sentence, $15 million restitution, $5 million in forfeitures. I had to give up a lot, right?
Yeah, you had to give up a lot. You had to put other people in prison.
And the feds come to me, Franzese, you know, the word's on the street, you're a dead man.
But not his inner circle. He didn't testify against his inner circle. He testified against non-wise guys. So he thinks that makes him not a rat. He tries to justify his actions because he didn't testify against his inner circle. He testified in front of Congress. Like, there is a whole video of his testimony. Like, what is this? Oh, no, that's me waving goodbye to my family. That's me waving goodbye to my wife and my newborn baby. That's not what you see in that picture. Just like this guy. Oh, I didn't steal my grandma's house. I didn't steal my grandma's house. She gave me the money. These guys always got an excuse. All of them.
We're hearing it from all our informants. You walked away from that life because Life magazine wrote a huge story, putting the Mafia, right? And they said, cooperate with us. We'll put you in a program. We'll get you out of prison. I said, F you guys. I'm not cooperating. I said, he's such a liar. He said, F you guys. I'm not cooperating.
He's like, I just waved goodbye to my family in the courtroom. Look, here's the picture.
Oh, man. I'll worry about the street. Don't worry about it. But then they went a step further, Terry. They start putting my name on the witness list of trials that were going on in New York. Wow. My friends.
Matter of fact, here is, if you guys want to subscribe to Joey Merlino's Patreon, he stole his grandma's house. Not Franzese. Dominic the donkey stole his grandma's house. Left her out in the street, man. You didn't see that episode? Oh, you better go watch that one. Dominic the donkey, he forged his fucking grandma's name on a loan for like $300,000. Took her house right from under her. She was interviewed by the newspaper, and she told him everything about her grandson being a spiteful little conniver, and he robbed her for her house. Left her in debt, struggling to pay the bills.
So, and I'm sending word to my dad, don't believe it. I'm not coming in. But everybody says that. And then they end up on the witness stand. You know how many guys, oh, it's not true? And then boom, they're on the witness stand. So they're looking at me the same way. But then what happens, I do 5 years. Feds gave me a hard time during that 5 years. Diesel therapy, the whole bit. I get out on parole after 5, right?
What is diesel therapy? I've never heard of that.
Middle of the night, they take you out. They throw you on some plane that the marshals confiscated, right? And they take you to another prison, and they put you in lockdown for a week, pick you up again, bring you to another prison, so you never get settled. And they just keep moving you around until you're like so exhausted, hey, whatever you want me to do, you know? But I had months of that. Your family don't know where you are. Security reasons, they won't tell you, so you can't get a visit, can't get a phone call. It's terrible, right? So, but I got through that. So I'm on 13 months. The feds are all over me. Guys coming out to talk to me and hurt me. I had to move once or twice, right? I had to change my whole lifestyle. Couldn't go to a restaurant the same day. You know, I couldn't walk my dog in the morning. I had to be very careful because I knew what these guys were scheming. So now I'm walking out of a bank. No, what happens is they come and pick me up. I'm on parole, and they bring me to Newark, New Jersey. My good friend, John Riggy, who is the boss of the Jersey crew.
And he's ratting like crazy. Michael Franzese was testifying. He was giving them information behind the scenes. He didn't have to go and testify against people. He already gave them information. Like, come on, what is this? If that's not giving information, that's not a picture of me testifying against in Congress. That's a picture of me waving goodbye to my family. That's not me speaking at a congressional hearing. That's me pleading my case. This guy will tell you the sky is pink when the sky is blue.
Is on trial, and they want me to testify against him because he and I had a deal. Every window that came into every apartment in New York, we got a piece of. We had a deal, right? And one of the guys that was our partner
Del Strain, what's up,
convicted
bro?
on the Giuliani case. He was my co-defendant, and he turned informant. They gave him 30 years. He turned informant. So he told him that I was Riggy's partner, right? So now the prosecutor says, we're putting you on the stand, and if you lie, you're going down for perjury. So long story short is, I'm not going to lie. I said, I did the whole deal, but Riggy had nothing to do with it.
So he went up there and testified, right? He said, I'm not going to go up there and lie. He said, this guy's such a liar. And now he wants everyone to believe that he's a stand-up guy when he's not. Clearly, he's not.
The prosecutor says, we're putting you on the stand, and if you lie, you're going down for perjury.
This guy caused so much damage. It's not even funny. 100%. And he acts like, I'm a stand-up guy. I walked away from the life without any repercussions. I was able to do that. No, you didn't. Not from these court papers. That's not what this says there, Michael. How come you don't come on my show and answer some questions, Michael? I got a challenge for you. Come on this show and answer some questions. And I'm going to break down how you're not a stand-up guy and how you're lying to everybody. It will be fun. Come on, come up here. How come none of these cooperators have taken me up on my offer? The offer's there. You guys can come up here and defend yourself against everything I'm saying.
So long story short is, I'm not going to lie. I said, I did the whole deal, but Riggy had nothing to do with it.
And I'm not going to kiss your ring.
That's how I said it. I said, it was my deal. I'll tell you exactly how it went down.
So is that cooperating with the government? He just said, it's my deal. I'll tell you exactly how it went down. They don't understand, like, when they give information, right, it has a ripple effect.
He says, and yeah, Hyman, who testified, he was our partner, but he's blaming Riggy. That's not true.
Yeah, so now he's trying to say that he cooperated against the cooperator. He's saying, like, he's trying to come in there and save the day. That's what he just said. Listen again.
Mad at me, boom, they send me. That's how I said it. I said, it was my deal. I'll tell you exactly how it went down.
Listen, he tries to cooperate against the cooperator.
I says, and yeah, Hyman, who testified, he was our partner, but he's blaming Riggy. That's not true.
Salvatore says Barillo played the gimp on Pulp Fiction. Check this out.
I did everything for you, Amelia. I gave you thousands of dollars. You got to cancel your trip. Why would you have to cancel your trip? That door will cost $500. I could have my friend come there and do it. Like, this is such bullshit.
And I just can't help not to answer this crackhead and these losers, but I gotta respond because there's no warrant for my arrest, you know?
And he went to prison right after he said that because there was a warrant for his arrest for doing this. He'll be in prison again.
No, I don't. I mean, by heart, I'm still a tough guy. I know that, you know, I'm not scared of nobody, but I'm not in the crime world anymore.
Just keep my mouth shut and I would act. My actions speak louder than my words. It's just this whole social media.
Social media? Is there an R on the end of that meteor? Social media shower. Social meteors. You and your kids with that damn social meteors. By his actions, he would act.
Guy, I know that, you know, I'm not scared of nobody, but I'm not in the crime world anymore.
Just keep my mouth shut and I would act. My actions speak louder than my words. It's just this whole social media. It's fun. It's entertaining at times, especially everybody's going back and forth. But it's just this genre.
This genre just changed.
Just changed with Joey Molino.
With Joey Molino, a stand-up guy that you guys could never be. This genres on the social medias just changed because there's a stand-up guy on the social medias. His name is Joey Molino.
Today we have Joey Molino, a.k.a. Skinny Joey, who the media has claimed for years is the boss of the Philadelphia Mafia. Welcome to Vlad TV.
How you doing? Welcome. How are you?
You can't.
Well, it's your first time here. I want to start at the very beginning.
Good.
Yeah, Joey welcomes Vlad to his own show. Welcome to your own show.
All right, here we go. Today we have Joey Merlino, a.k.a. Skinny Joey, who the media has claimed for years is the boss of the Philadelphia Mafia. Welcome to Vlad TV.
How you doing? Welcome. How are you?
Welcome to your own show. Here, let's get back to the meteor shower on social medias.
Just keep my mouth shut. No, with that, my actions speak louder than my words. It's just this whole social media. It's fun. It's entertaining at times.
Yeah, it is.
Especially everybody's going back and forth. But it's just, this genre just changed with Joey Molino.
This genre just changed because of social medias. Because of social media showers.
Involved, coming on social media. He wants to speak out for the good guys. So say the good guys. And I'm going to go more into that. But, you know, and then you have guys who just came home.
Do you still consider yourself a gangster?
No.
Dear friend of mine, he's a little misguided, Gene, who doesn't know how to control his anger at times.
His anger. He gets it from his father.
Do you still consider yourself a gangster?
No.
You know, maybe because he's all piss and vinegar.
I've been out of jail my whole life.
He's rat juice and vinegar, bro. Rat juice and vinegar.
Still, but he has to understand he's out of the life. He's not in the mafia.
Not in the crime world anymore. I'm done.
He's not around Vinny Asaro.
He's not around Vinny Asaros and around the meteors.
With free reins to go and do whatever you want to do.
I mean, by heart, I'm still a tough guy. I know that, you know, I'm not scared of nobody, but I'm not in the crime world anymore. I've been out of jail my whole life. That's it. Crime, jail, that's it.
People...
Excuse me.
Social media.
I've been out of jail my whole life. That's it. Crime, jail, that's it.
You've been in and out of jail for what? For this.
I did this to the door.
That's what he goes to jail for. The SWAT team brings Gene when they go to a house and need to bust the door down. They just let Gene out of the house, out of the fucking van first, and he runs like a dog to the door.
I did this to the door. I did this to the door. I pushed the door in.
You fucking ruined it.
People are
You mafia figure.
getting lured in. And I'm going to let everyone know, and I'll say it a few times during this live.
During this social media event. And I think EG Vodka is the shitty brand. That's my thoughts. Okay.
Video.
We used to run around with the guns, the shotguns, you know, fucking going crazy and robbing.
But you also have a short fuse. Like
Bad.
you could snap in a second.
Right.
Walk me through some coping tools you use to calm yourself down. Let's say you get cut off or something, you know, do you do a lot of self-talk?
Every single one of them. Let me come. Go. Watch.
Get my ball. Get my ball.
I'm gonna show you time right now. You know, so that's what I do. That's our coping skills.
Okay, I like.
Did you see his coping skills? Let's check out them coping skills.
Down. Let's say you get cut off or something, you know, you use have a short fuse.
The guns, the shotguns, you know, fucking going crazy and robbing.
But you also have a short fuse. Like
Bad.
you could snap in a second.
Right.
Walk me through some coping tools you use to calm yourself down. Let's say you get cut off or something, you know, do you do a lot of self-talk?
How do you do
Every
it?
single one of them. Let me come. Go. Watch.
Get my ball. Get my ball.
I'm gonna show you time right now. You know, so that's what I do. That's our coping skills.
Okay, I like that. So it's like a buddy system.
It's a
like,
buddy
hey, I'm about
system.
to snap, bro.
He wasn't even in the family, so stop saying y'all were the worst family. You wasn't in the family.
No.
Yes, stop saying you were in the family because you weren't in the family. Tonto wasn't getting made. This guy right here was a fake mafia captain He got appointed by Vinny for like 2 days, and all of a sudden he's got a crew. Nobody knows him in the Bronx. Isn't that ironic?
He was an associate to the family.
He is part of the family.
He's part of the family. He's on the internets. He's on the interwebs. On the social medias.
Associates are part of the crime family.
Well, it's your first time here.
Alleged.
I want to start at the very beginning.
God.
So, born
Well, I'm not talking about any of that mob shit. You
and raised in South Philly.
Yes, my whole life.
Okay. And your parents are Italian, Salvatore Chucky Merlino and Rita Giordano?
Yeah.
Yeah, this dude has Omerta tattooed on his fucking arm, driving a white Porsche with his Omerta tattoo hanging out the window. Like he's this, I'm a mafia figure. He tells that to himself all day. Like he goes to the fucking mirror and he's like, I'm a mafia figure, former hitman for the Bonanno crime family with no hits under my belt. Today, we're going to explain how the mafia works, even though I wasn't part of it, ever. You were a loose associate at best.
So mad at me, boom, they send me back. They don't put me on the stand. Right? 10 days later, I'm violated on my parole. They throw me back in prison, put me in solitary for 29 months and 7 days.
You should have been in there for the rest of your life for all the cooperating you did. Like this. What's this? What is? Oh no, I was waving goodbye to my family. That's what it was. Right? You were waving goodbye to your family in that picture. You weren't testifying in front of Congress, right, Michael Franzese? Michael Franzese couldn't tell the fucking truth if it slapped him in the face.
In a hole, 6x8 cell. Told me they're indicting me on another racketeering case. They gave me 4 years, which was the maximum on a parole violation. And I spent another 3 years in prison. They couldn't.
Dominic Cicale is the only mafia captain without a crew. You can't make this shit up. He was more of a rapper than Capo. 100%, man. Look in the mirror. You ratting on me? Are you ratting on me? No, I'm doing you. He looks in the mirror. Are you ratting on me? Come on. He's like, no, I would do me. These guys are fucking hilarious.
Indict me. They tried, but they couldn't. So now the guys on the street are saying, well, wait a second. He's testifying, but they throw him back in prison. He never shows up at any of the trials. He's not hurting anybody.
Yeah, so he's not cooperating. We're just gonna let this go and forgive it. Is that what happened, Michael? You didn't pay Carmine millions of dollars, did you, Michael? Well, I have a witness that says you did.
So now the heat starts to come off, right? Now I get out of jail. I don't see my dad for a number of years, and he's on parole. He sends for me.
Yeah, because he's hiding. And you were scared. He was scared to go to his own father's fucking funeral because he was scared they were going to kill him. And possibly so. They could have. Can you imagine the morons supporting these channels? Oh, man.
And because he wanted to talk to me now. So I go see him, and he says, you really just walked away. I said, Dad, I told you I wasn't going to hurt anybody. I said, why didn't you believe that? Well, you know, the talk and this and that. So we...
That's a lie. He's lying right there. He's lying right to this dude's face. Support Staxx. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you, Bruno.
Patch things up. And then, Terry, I had one more bad thing. I'm finishing up my time, and another guy becomes an informant and implicates me in a number of murders, right? Feds come and see me again. This is after I got out of the hole. I only had 6 months left.
So he was involved with 2 murders that I know of that I was able to find that he had some involvement in. So this person gave his sister some heroin and she overdosed. And they set up the guy to get killed. He was intricately involved with that one. And then there's another one where one of the drivers of his father was killed. And I believe he had knowledge on that one too. But I'll bring you guys the facts on what happened. 100%. I'm not going to listen. If Michael Franzese came on my show, he would not have anywhere to run. He would have to explain himself. These people just have them breeze right through the story and tell their bullshit. Just like OC Shorts did with Sammy Gravano. Sammy Gravano, pure bullshit. He told him pure lies. Definitely, he 100% killed that kid. And then you got these two.
And Dominic Cicale. It's like Mutt and Jeff, Tom and Jerry, Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello. Here we are. We're coming at you live. Not live, pre-recorded, though. Joe, thank you for coming on. Pleasure having you, as always.
David, what's up? How are you? I say nothing on the ground that could incriminate myself. That's all you say if America goes. Listen, these guys have it in their head that they're stand-up individuals. Like, they really think, well, I didn't cooperate against anyone. I didn't put anyone in prison. Well, there's a picture of you right here. Oh, wait, you're waving goodbye to your family. I forgot, right? This is when you got sentenced, right, Francis? You're, bye, my love. I'll see you when I get out. That wasn't me testifying. That's just words on a paper. You know, I have to tell them something. These guys are so full of shit.
And Joe, thank you.
He's implicating you in these murders, and either you cooperate with us because there's other people involved, or you're going to get in trouble on the murders. I said, the guy's lying. I said, you're a liar. I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
So everyone's a liar, right, Mike? Not you?
So now when I get out, I told my father, I said, Dad, I said, let me tell you this. I said, whoever's mad at me, tell him stop. I said, because if I cooperate with them, everybody's going down. I said, and I'm not. So just tell these guys to leave me alone, because Persico was still upset with me, right? He said,
he paid Persico millions of dollars. Persico knew that he cooperated. I believe he worked out a deal with Persico that he could cooperate against non-wise guys. So is that ratting? Of course it is. It doesn't matter if it's people in the life, people outside the life. You are a rat. It's very sick, Staxx. Very sick. Social media's a crazy place, guys. That's all I can say. It's very social media's coming out of nowhere. You couldn't find an empty tracksuit with any of them. I get elite pinch about an empty trackie.
don't worry about it. I'll straighten it out. But what happens with the guy that was implicating us in the murders? He lied so much, they threw him out of the witness protection program, and anything he said, they just tossed out the window.
So his plan was he was going to cooperate against the cooperator and say that they were involved. That was his plan. Cooperate against the cooperator. And he thinks like that makes it okay.
What happened to him? Did he get his comeuppance?
He's who the hell knows where he is?
Yeah, no, I didn't know, because if you're not in that program and you're out in the street.
Well, he must have moved away. I mean, he's not. I haven't heard anything about him.
Yeah.
But they threw him out for lying.
And obviously, for our audience, Michael, going through that time, I mean, you know, you could have easily got, you know, whacked because of the of what the government was doing, what people thought, and I'd say, and I don't know if this is true, but I'd say that you're probably the only person in the world that's ever walked away from
in the world,
and,
yeah,
you know, gone on to become.
You're the only person in the world, Michael, in the whole world that walked away without cooperating. Well, you did cooperate, because that's a fucking lie. You're not a stand-up guy. You're not the only person in the world to walk away without cooperating, because you did. You want people to believe that you didn't cooperate. You want to be a stand-up guy like Joey Merlino is, but you're not, and you'll never be one. He was able to walk away from the life without cooperating. You, on the other hand, did not. You cooperated your ass off. How were you able to keep all this money, Michael? Explain.
And when you're out in the street.
Well, he must have moved away. I mean, he's not. I haven't heard anything about him.
Yeah.
But they threw him out for lying.
And obviously, for our audience, Michael, going through that time, I mean, you know, you could have easily got, you know, whacked because of the of what the government was doing.
Watch what he says. You're the only person in the whole wide world. What's this shit? Oh my god.
What people thought, and I'd say, and I don't know if this is true, but I'd say that you're probably the only person in the world that's ever walked away from the mafia.
You're the only person in the world that ever walked away from the mafias. There's an R on the end of that, right? The mafia. He's the only person in the world that walked away from the mafia. No, I believe him and John Jr. John Jr. walked away too. He didn't testify, right? John Jr. cooperated too. Bottom line, he cooperated with the government just like Franzese did. These guys, they couldn't stand it. When the handcuffs came on, they started telling. That's it. They started telling. All of them. They all have a reason why. A-Light, they're cooperating against him. I'm going to cooperate against them. That's what they say, right? Because they're no good. They weren't able to walk away from the life without doing that because they just don't have it in them to be stand-up individuals. They want to be. They have it in their head that they did something right, but they didn't. They're just liars.
And, you know, gone on to become, you know, a success.
Well, I would say this, Terry. Look, there's guys on the street now that testified, went into witness protection program, then were released, and they're not back in the neighborhood, don't get me wrong. But I don't know anybody that's publicly walked away, never had any kind of government protection, never did the program, never put people in prison.
He's such a liar. Straight bullshit.
And, you know, have a life.
I do. His name is Joey Merlino.
Okay, so
in comes Joey Merlino.
What was it like to grow up in South Philly in the late 60s, early 70s?
It was nice. There was no locks on the door. You could do whatever you want in the neighborhood. Nobody ever stole anything. Nobody's houses got robbed. Tight-knit, you know, old time. Everybody helped each other.
They want to be Joey Merlino so bad. It like bothers them. It fucking like physically pains them that they are not.
You're an enigma, and there's only one Michael Franzese. There's only one.
Yeah, there's an enigma there, all right, because he cooperated with the government and was able to walk away. Oh, that's not too hard to understand. Okay. How come no one ever asked him about his cooperation with the government, about testifying against the boxing shit and everything? All this stuff had a ripple effect. And they don't understand that hurts a lot of people.
But you know, for our audience, when you go through when you went through that time when they were doing the diesel therapy, as you called it, and they were putting you in solitary confinement, you were looking over your shoulder thinking, am I going to get somebody who's going to whack me in the jail? How did you cope with that mentally? What
he told? What do you mean? How did he cope with that? He told. There was no other way around it. But listen, I got a lot of content I'm going to be dropping today. I got a whole bunch of interviews. Tonight, we got Robert Maiano once again. So stay tuned for that one. Hope you guys like this content. I got JC from Wrong to Strong. I got a lot of different interviews I'm going to be dropping this week. And I think you guys will like them. I'm going to drop a link real quick. How was you guys' weekends? It was beautiful out yesterday. It was like a summer day. Thank you, Bruno. If anyone wants to donate to the show, you can donate to Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chats. I appreciate everyone that takes the time to watch this show and people that donate money. I really appreciate it. We're trying to take things to another level. And if you want to be a guest on this show, just hit up my email at billstax2021@gmail.com, or you can hit me on Instagram, Facebook. The links are in the description of this video. I'm going to be dropping so much content this week, and I appreciate all you guys. Great show, Staxxy boy. Thank you, Gray. I appreciate you. David, Ann, what's going on? Thomas, got a lot of people in the house tonight. I'm gonna go live tonight. Roy, what's going on? Pope, I'll be seeing you guys. Bruno, what's up, asshole? Great content you're producing. Thank you. And remember, if you guys want to subscribe to Joey Merlino's podcast on Patreon, who knows? Maybe there'll be an interview with Joey Merlino. We'll see if we can get that done. But I appreciate all you guys. I hope you guys have a great the rest of your Monday. And stay off this social medias. It'll come back to bite you in your ears. If you guys like this content on social medias, hit the like button, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this content, too fucking bad, start your own podcast. I appreciate all you guys. And remember, don't be a bitch.